How Robert Pattinson pulled off a Hollywood miracle. It's the story of Robert Pattinson, a motivation account that makes one believe in personal development and determination. Even within a picture-driven world where pictures rule the industry, it is more than evidence that an actor can change the course of his career and regain his artistic identity. A perfect testimony of the transformative power of the acting profession lies within him. Throughout his career, Pattinson has emerged as one of the most accomplished and recognizable artists of his time. Way back, he was almost solely popular for his role as Edward Cullen, the somber vampire from the Twilight saga. A journey not only unorthodox but also motivating enough, it must be acknowledged that his journey from a heartthrob to becoming a critical darling is well worth mentioning. Daring choices and refusal to give in to preconceived notions describe this quality. In 2005, Pattinson appeared in the film Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, playing Cedric Diggory. It was the first time the name was being thrust under a global spotlight. This performance gave him a taste of stardom and directed the attention of casting agencies working in the Hollywood area. Pattinson established himself as a global phenomenon in 2008, thanks to the performance he gave as Edward Cullen of the Twilight series. That was the year that he became a household name. Novels by Stephen E. Meyer turned into a cultural phenomenon, and a series of films based on those novels became mania. Pattinson, with co-stars Kristen Stewart and Taylor Lautner, would become known throughout the world as a result of the first picture, to be produced with a rather modest budget in the amount of $37 million and still gross more than $400 million. Co-stars also became famous thanks to the film. Meanwhile, though it was a very commercially successful franchise, the Twilight saga experienced some resistance from a significant portion of individuals. When Pattinson himself had been going through ridicule, many critics, and not only a few moviegoers, called the film shallow. In fact, his portrayal of Edward, always that over-the-top or wooden character, set him as one teen idol, but restricted how others regarded him as a cinema actor. Indeed, his portrayal of Edward was criticized. Pattinson has said publicly at interviews how he feels about various aspects of the series, such as the script writing and the implausibility of parts of the storyline, for instance. He has also been asked about his feelings with regard to the series. Moreover, although the series did bring some fame and financial stability to his life, this did reduce the potential prospects he could have experienced in the coming years. Pattinson did not want to define himself by that one role or part. He began his attempts at pivoting, even while he dealt with the Twilight franchise aftermath. But before starting this video again, if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on our fantastic content. Now let's start it again. He wanted a change in career. He wanted to play supporting roles in independent films. There was an intrinsic desire to work on character-driven storytelling, which enabled him to utilize his artistic skills. Things changed with the movie Little Ashes, which cast him to play Salvador Dali, surrealist painter. He again continued his career with less noteworthy projects, Water for Elephants and Love and Distrust. These gave him glimpses of his broader goals, although they were of less importance. After the Twilight saga, which finally appeared to mark a shift from him, Pattinson's career began to take a turn for the better. Everything turned into that major professional move. In 2014, he went through many critically acclaimed indie movies, including The Rover and Maps to the Stars, counted amongst the most important. One of the characters he acted in a dystopian Western film, The Rover, by director David Michôd, was an anguished vagrant. She had to be simultaneously sympathetic and strong for that role. All this was happening while all that was going on, that is to say, David Cronenberg's Maps to the Stars, A scathing satire of Hollywood offered Pattinson an opportunity to deepen his character far more complex and sophisticated than he has ever played before. That is not to mention, of course, the fact that he also won the highly sought-after Palme d'Or at Cannes, which went in proof that he was no longer a pretty boy but a serious actor worth viewing. Since Pattinson continued to make choices that were harder to work on, so did his collaborations with directors working on the field of innovation increase in frequency. He also appeared in James Gray's epic historical drama, The Lost City of Z, in which he lost 35 pounds and sported a bushy beard to appear largely unrecognizable. He was directed by Werner Herzog in the film Queen of the Desert. All these performances made him willing to take a risk for the sake of realism, which again made him apart from his character whom he played as a glittering vampire. Good Time, the neo-noir thriller starring Robert Pattinson, was directed by the Safdie brothers and released to the public in 2017. In this film, he proved his position as a serious actor. It is a mighty thrilling film about a desperate criminal wanting to free his brother from prison, since the brother has developmental difficulties. It's a high-energy cinema. The Safdies caught his attention when he happened to see a still from their then-newest film, Heaven Knows What. Strongly infatuated with the Safdies, he decided to personally get in touch with them. Initially, the Safdies resisted, but later gave in and agreed to make a character suited just for him. Pattinson prepared himself for the role by submerging totally in the surroundings of the character he was portraying. He attained this objective through involvement in method-like activities that created an obstacle in his way of amusing himself without moving from his script of keeping his character alive as he interacts with everyday people. Pattinson was completely devoted to acting a man to the end of his rope at each piece of his performance, from washing cars to dining at diners. No segment of his performance was missed. The great performance for which Pattinson had delivered in combination with the raw power of the film helped get him great recognition. He proved that he was indeed much more talented than most people had perceived he was. The reputation of Pattinson skyrocketed after Good Time, which hit all the box offices with success. In 2019, he appeared in the very unsettling film by Robert Eggers' The Lighthouse, which was one of his more challenging parts. As his performance was being acclaimed by critics in depth and intensity, he was eventually nominated to replace Willem Dafoe's performance. He performed like an actor, playing the role of a man on the brink of losing his sanity, a performance so unnerving. At this point, an actor, once known for his starring role in a young adult television series, was frowned upon as taboo was the brazen talent to have walked on Earth. Mainstream film industry. He returned to the mainstream film industry with renewed purpose at making a comeback into the Hollywood film industry. He took a slickly mysterious role in Christopher Nolan's Tenet, sometimes unmatching the already outstanding record of roles that he has undertaken. The film was directed by Christopher Nolan. However, the greatest moment was that he was offered to play the title character in the film The Batman, and it was actually produced by Matt Reeves. In the 2022 version, he is depicted as more melancholic and contemplative than in the previous ones. The portrayal of Bruce Wayne by Pattinson, hailed by many as one of the most creative ever to be given to the Caped Crusader, gave the critics and crowd many reasons to praise him. What defines Pattinson from other actors is his dedication to maintaining a good balance in his relationship with his career. He shares the same level of devotion towards the independent film fraternity and the blockbuster film fraternity that most of the performers either turn towards one or the other. Though he has been successful in his commercial ventures with films like The Batman, he did not give up artistically driven projects that feature smaller scales. Given the current fact that he works in not one, but two professions, his career path is much more remarkable than it has been so far. Great accomplishment rarely seen in Hollywood, where typecasting often becomes, by default, the unswerving pitfall, Robert Pattinson's transformation is a feat rarely to be seen. It is a credit to his talent, persistence, and genuine enthusiasm for his work that he has managed to redefine his career while yet maintaining the integrity of his creativity despite everything. Over his acting career, Pattinson has come of age and transformed from a mere heartthrob in the Twilight series to one of today's most iconic working actors. His is a learning curve for reinvention, remaining a point of inspiration and fascination. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.